Hey guys, today is Thursday. As expected, a really high resistance AM session today. Actually was expecting that due to the fact that pre-market sessions really expanded lower, and therefore I was not planning on trading AM today. London basically traded lower, NYOKZ traded lower, and therefore we expect AM to be a retracement, and eventually also then to expand lower with 1030 or the London close macro. Today, it's a bit difficult to say if we will still deliver lower now, because we have this equal lower tier with the daily SSL liquidity, but on the S we already swapped it, so we have a daily SMT in that case being in play, and therefore it's not really clear if this is already enough, and therefore you definitely have to avoid expecting a really huge expansion. You have to be content with the lower hanging fruit. But yeah, I want to break into today's trading day and also want to see how the long close macro is now delivering lower. So I took a really small winner with that. Actually also passed with that my fourth evil account within 4 trading days. So that's the best I've ever traded so far. So the quickest I passed an evil so far. Really proud of that. Really just a quick scalp actually, and yeah, definitely have something in mind with here trading lower. So actually would like to see that we eventually even expand now lower towards the kill zone SSL liquidity, towards the daily SSL liquidity you can see it here. So let's start on the hourly chart. So basically we have also this huge inefficient wick right here. Yeah, we did trade almost back to CE. We have this high time frame gap right here as well. Yeah, just really trading within a price range in that case right here. So definitely difficult conditions. Quick glance on regular trading hours, and there I will explain to you my buys for today's trading day. So what we basically have is a Newton range gap towards the downside of 75 handles, and as you can see right here, we failed to reach back to CE. We took out yesterday's AM session low as well. And basically what I want in that case is just to be completely patient, just to avoid trading in here, because I expect 930 and at least until 1030 to be a retracement. So expect NQ to try to reach for the Newton range gap quadrants. So actually at least the lower quadrant level, at best also CE, trying to trade back into that. And with 1030 and non-close macro, until then, I basically expect AM to be a retracement, and then we are allowed to trade lower. And that's, I think, what's now also going to happen, that we now expand lower. Maybe today, maybe if we fail to do it today, maybe later in PM or tomorrow. So what I'm looking at is basically, as you already know from previous videos, from previous breakdowns, the huge inefficiencies, or basically the huge inefficiency down here. That's what I want to see, that we trade back to that lower. So that's also maybe a really nice lesson today, that we do not need to catch even the move into that, but we just can trade aligned with the regular trading hours bias and still participate in a relatively clean price run. But now back to my towards electronic trading hours. So therefore I am actually just only trading higher right here and chopping around. So obviously you could try to take a short early in here with, I don't know, like for example, like basically an ATM model where we just manipulate higher with 930 into buy the liquidity. Also if we take our price range, we can see we also trade back to CE right here, even higher. So swapped buy the liquidity within a premium, and then you obviously can look for a short, especially aligned with the high time frame. In that case, it is kind of against the regular trading hours chart, because as you know, we are not really able to expand lower until 1030 or the long close macro. So if we take a short in here, we can only aim at best for the 930 opening price, maybe the high time frame gap, maybe CE right here from the daily chart, but not more than that. We are not going to expand lower. We are not going to reach for the session SSL liquidity. That's what we do after we chopped around, after we had time distortion, after AM was basically delivering a retracement, after we also traded back into today's new open range gap, and that's really important. As you can see right here, we once more manipulated higher with 11, trade into today's new open range gap, and now we are able to expand lower. So that's really I think completely interesting to see. I think I love it, because you could really get messed around right here. But just having that in mind, with that aim is going to be retracement if the previous session expanded until 10:30 or the long close macro at least, that we are trying to reach back for our premium new open range gap. So that's just, I think, a really beautiful trading approach. And I just love it how we are now entering lower. So that's right here, an institutional order flow entry drill would have been really clean with an inversion for gap right here. But to me, it would also still be nice to see that we can maybe even reach lower once again towards the new open kill zone says liquidity. Once again, today is a low volume day after the last days really expanded lower. Thursday is in that case definitely to be regarded with cautious. It could also be the case that we, how I mentioned it before, just now maybe sweep AM session liquidity, trade back to, I don't know, the 8:30 opening price, and just have really high resistance in here. Maybe sweep this as liquidity with PM, but maybe also fail to do that, and then we trade back towards the towards the previous new open range gap I showed you before on Friday, so tomorrow. So that's maybe also what could happen. So what I did is basically was once again not planning on trading today, but I really missed only not on much to pass my eval, and therefore I was just taking the opportunity. Long close macro, we came up, basically swept the so we already swept the engineered buy liquidity right here, so triple top. Once more swept the high right here, trade higher also into the balanced price range or SIBI right here, reacted off the high time frame gap, displaced lower, or not even displaced, but we had a immediate rebalance. In that case is even better. And then we closed also right here below CE, so I added right here, close below the inversion for gap, added right here, and was just aiming in that case for the low hanging fruit 9:30 opening price. Actually missed it right here to take partials, because I just came into the charts, was still looking where I was aiming for and how much I needed, and I was realizing, oh, I'm already passing basically my eval with that, so just close there. And yeah, and that was basically a trade. So actually was still important to close at the low hanging fruit. I think it would be difficult to manage the trade right here if I would have not gone for the 9:30 opening price for the low hanging fruit in that case, because I don't know if I would have already gone break even right here, maybe trade my stop above the high right here, because we should be done with trading into the inversion for a gap if we are going to expand lower now. But still, it's a bit early. We are before 11, and now we once more manipulate higher. Once again, I showed you before, into today's open range gap, and now we are able to expand lower. So yeah, but still really clean trade. I would really like to see that this right here still can expand lower with I don't know, until 11:30, maybe a bit lower prices, maybe sweep the AM low. That would be quite clean to see, something like that, I think. But yeah, I think I explained everything I want to mention. So the high of the previous opening range gap would be, so a previous one is right here. You can see the dotted line. Another one would be right here, and the last one would be right here. So right basically near the new open kill zone says liquidity. That's why the session says liquidity is so important for us today. But yeah, we will see how we deliver in here, and that's basically it. I will pause it, and then you will see how, if we are traded lower or not. Safe trading, guys. See you soon, and have a great weekend. So quick, yeah, just continuing with my breakdown. So as you saw, I took 2 trades also now on my funded account. Was a bit late getting into it basically after passing the eval. Would have liked to enter already in here within the institutional order flow entry drill. Was really highly convinced that we would definitely at least seek the AM session liquidity. We did that and also continued a bit lower. So trade back to 830 opening price. So far we failed to reach lower, even into the high of the previous Newton range gap or towards Newton kill zone says liquidity towards a daily low. I think there is the possibility that because yeah, as you really look closely, that we barely swept it, that this is already enough for today. But yeah, we will see later on, maybe in PM. And yeah, so basically what I did is I entered right here, short. I really liked how we created this breakaway gap right here, once again at the upper quadrant level. So that's really working well lately for me. Basically gaps which get created by displacing through a quadrant levels and also with a high time frame narrative being in play are really delivering very, very nicely as a breakaway gap, and I can definitely rely on that. So I like to enter in here. I had my stop inside the breakaway gap. I would have liked that we do not even trade into it, only stay within the fair gap right here. But I did not also wanted to have my stop higher than that because we already swapped AM session liquidity, and it could be that this is already a low for today. Basically for the setup right here, I'm lining out, so which started with the London close macro with the SMT being in play as well, also with VS. So I'm kind of more content with having a tighter stop and re-entering, and that's what I did. Re-entered right here, maybe a bit aggressive, but I was really convinced that we're going to trade lower, and took my first partial perfectly right here at the 830 opening price. That's why you want to have your partial a bit higher than the opening price or the target, because as you see right here, we do not really reach for it. and therefore you would have seen this retracement, what would be really scary, and that's why it's nice to have it just a few 1 or 2 points higher than your target. And then I got stopped basically right here. To me that's also fine, because in that case, to me this right here should get treated as a bolo, and right here we basically then, with trading higher, we are now back inside the high time frame gap, so we could not really reach lower, but still a clean setup, clean trade, and that's just what I wanted to share with you. Maybe also a quick glance on ES, so that's SMT being implied right here, and also what I was looking at, why I was convinced that we are still trading lower, is basically after we traded, wait, let me check, 11:30. Yeah, after I got stopped right here, I was still convinced that we're going to trade lower, based on the fact that ES failed to take out the AM session low, and that's definitely something I wanted to see. So therefore, that's why I also was content with re-entering into the position. And also, once again, to ES, it's also quite clean to see how we came closely to the level right here, but failed to reach forward. I'm actually not even sure what this is right here. It's a 5-minute wick right here, which got respected a lot, so definitely quite interesting level, definitely. And yeah, we'll see how we deliver. So ES is looking more bearish actually, maybe even expanding a bit lower, but yeah, so far we don't really know what's going to happen. I'm done for today, definitely, and maybe I will just write into the comments whether we trade lower today within PM, if we came down and scrapped the new open kill zone and says liquidity when we did it, and yeah, so on. So hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something new. Safe trading, and have a nice rest of the week, and see you soon, guys.